Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is a Blue Collar Wine Show where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. We are continuing with Washington Wine Month, and as promised, I'm going to do a blind tasting of Merlot from around the world, including Washington State. Now this is scary for me because I always talk about Merlot making some of the best. I think Washington produces some of the best Merlot in the world. In fact, it's said, and this is a lot of winemakers say this, in most places Merlot is used to soften Cab. In Washington, Cab is used to soften Merlot. That's how powerful Merlot is in the state of Washington. I see a little bit of a resurgence of Merlot sales in my department at the store. I read an article where they think that it's eventually going to get back to where it was. I don't know. There's so many different varietals now to choose from. I mean, there always has been. But on the market, in a grocery store, you can find so many different wines. So it kind of spreads out the interest a little bit. Merlot's been around a long time. There are still some Merlot haters or people that say, I don't drink Merlot. I get them not a lot, but sometimes in the store. We all know about the movie. That isn't the only reason that Merlot sales dropped. It also dropped because Merlot became so popular in the 90s and late 80s that people everywhere produced a lot of Merlot, especially in Central California, where they probably shouldn't have made Merlot. And you got a lot of insipid, sort of weak Merlot, and people just got tired of it. Kind of like Shiraz in Australia with all the Yellowtail, Lindemans, Jacobs Creek. People just got sick of it. Yeah, initially it was kind of a novelty, but you know, people just got tired of it. So we have Merlot from Washington, Italy, and France. Three of the places I think do the best Merlot in the world. And then we have one from California. Not my favorite place for Merlot, but there, you know, you have to kind of get up into the upper tier of Merlot. All of them are priced at $22 and $23. So they're all the same price, not all the same vintage, but three of them are the same vintage. And my wife bagged these up. I have no idea what order they're in, so we're going to go after it. Let's get started. This is exciting. Number one of my viewers, Rebecca, she says it's funny you show the bag. I just want you to see it, I guess. I don't have to, right? So number one, I put a little tape around them also because one of them was a screw cap and I didn't want that to be, I didn't want to see that. So once again, I have no idea the order. I do know the wines. And I will write on the back, oops. This has a little chocolate, a little plum, a cherry. Actually quite aromatic. I actually like the aromatics on this wine. Color is darker, for sure. I'm getting a little umami too, like, you know, barbecue spices on this one. Now, oftentimes you see they can blend something else in. As long as it's 75% in the US of that varietal, they can call it a Merlot. Oftentimes they'll put maybe a little bit of Cab in, maybe a little Cab Franc, kind of like they do in Bordeaux. That's a very interesting nose. Almost, there's a little sharpness on the nose, which is interesting. Let's see what we get on the palate. This has some serious structure to it. Good tannic structure on the backside. It's on the brighter side, more acidic than most Merlots that I taste. It's hardly flabby. And oftentimes when you're talking about Central Coast of California Merlots, they will be flabby. This has a little spice on the finish. I'm definitely getting the cherry and plum notes on this one with a good, solid, acidic backbone to it, but not over the top. I mean, it's doable. Little herbal component to this Merlot too, which is really cool. Getting some herbal components. There's good acidity, cherry, plum notes. A little on the brighter side. Not super complex, but very interesting Merlot. It's good. I don't think it's fantastic, but it's okay. And I like that tannic structure on the backside. Okay, let's give this a bit of a grade here. So what am I going to grade this one? Well, like I said, it's not super fantastic, so yeah, but it's good. Okay, there we go. Number 1. Not sure where that would be from at this point. Got to taste a couple of them first. I think it's Old World, but you never know. Well, right off the bat, I see some, maybe a little bit of age on this one, on the color, not a lot. None of these were, like, the difference in vintage is very minimal. But this one has some interesting, I'm getting some nice brown notes on it a little bit. Let's get the board out. I put a tablecloth on my bar so that you wouldn't. So yes, this one looked like it has just a little kind of on a browner side, not entirely brown, but yes, I would say that. I can smell it. Well, there's some earthy notes on this one. I'm going to venture to say this might be Old World. Again, some umami notes, definitely some plum. Little cherry and currant notes on this one. And I'm getting some herbal qualities also on the nose. Let's see what we get on the palate. Okay, this has some leather, earth. I get some cherry and currant notes and a little bit of plum on the mid palate. And then I get this kind of nice minerality, almost a crushed rock element on the finish, which would tell me Old World. I would just guess, based on the palate of this one, that it's probably the Bordeaux. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to stick my neck out on that one. But I'll have to taste the other two. I might change my mind. I'm getting a little tobacco as well. This has more complexity. I like this one a lot. The acid is nicely integrated. It's there. I like the minerality. I like the leather notes and the cherry, kind of the currant, a little bit of currant notes coming through. Yeah, I'm going to guess Bordeaux on this one. I like it better than the first one. It shows better. It has more. I like the complexity on this. And just a little bit of spice on the finish. I'm excited to see how these come out. But I'm gonna put BDX Bordeaux on the back. Number 2, I'm not sure. Number 1, I'm not sure about yet. I'm waiting. I'm holding off on that one. So let's go to number 3. Here's for Rebecca. Number 3. A little red. If that was an Old World wine, we don't want to get that dirt in there. I do like that earthiness. I say earthiness because dirt can be a negative connotation to some people. I understand that. But very interesting. This is also a little on the dark, hedging towards a little bit of a... No. I take that back. Take it back. So this has, nice kind of a reddish, dark red color to it. Yeah, fairly youthful. Let's see what we get on the nose. So this has all chocolate all day. Look, you can taste some baking spices on this one. Smell some baking. Definitely a deeper. This has the most plum notes of the other two. This has a lot of plum on the nose. Some chocolate, maybe dark cherry notes with the plum. And maybe you can get in a little hit of tobacco. Let's see what we get on the palate. Okay, this has some depth to it. A lot of plum notes with an underbelly of dark cherry. I'm getting a little bit of a tannic grip on the backside of this one. I get a little tobacco as well. I always get excited about tobacco. Now tobacco, you'd have to practice that in your palate when you're tasting wine. Tobacco is a real interesting flavor profile, and it'd be good to get with a group and kind of, you know, hone in on that if you want to, if you so desire. But I like it when it comes into a wine. It reminds me of kind of that smell. My dad used to smoke a pipe, you know, that kind of thing. The tobacco coming through on the palate. Yeah, this is good Merlot. Definitely New World Merlot on this one. That's what I'm saying. I'm taking a chance on this one. I like it. Good complexity. I still like, yeah. Let's see. What are we going to give this one? Yeah, I'll go there. All right. Now on to number 4. Number 4. What scares me about this one, you know, Washington State Merlot, I like it a lot, but I also like, you know, right bank Bordeaux, and I like Italian Merlot. Right bank is primarily Merlot, left bank primarily Cab in the blend. Sometimes it switches up a little bit, but especially when you get up in Franschhoek, in the right bank of Bordeaux, you get a lot of Merlot up there. Darker on, oh, very dark on this one. Yes. Might be the darkest of the bunch. Kind of that red to dark red, blackish color. Let's see what we get on those. Ah, this smells like Smucker's grape jam. With the little twigs thrown in there. You take a little Smucker's grape jam, you throw in a little bit of, you know, twigs and branches in there. Yeah, yeah, definitely like a plum cherry mixture and a jam. Some twigs thrown in, if that makes any sense. Let's see what we get on the palate. A lot of umami on the finish on that, you know, kind of that baking spice, savory element on the backside. Interesting in the palate, this one. That umami element really comes through, that kind of, you know, marinade notes come through on this one. You get the cherry. Little tannic grip on the finish. The vegetal notes come through just a little bit on the backside. This is kind of tight on the finish. Wow. On the nose, I would say this is New World. It seems to be there's some spice notes on the backside of this one. Not super complex. There's nothing wrong with it. I like the spice notes, its structure. I'm not getting a huge amount of complexity. It kind of stays in this element of the umami, kind of, you know, edging in underneath of the cherry notes, maybe a little bit, maybe just a touch of plum. A lot of spice on the backside of this one. Okay. Let's see. Okay, there we go. We got it. I graded them. I'm just, yeah. I'm going to take a stab at where they're from. I think this is New World. In, let's see, in 4th place came number 1. In 3rd place, number 2. In 2nd place, number 3. And in first place, number 2. Yeah, that makes any sense. So I'm guessing Bordeaux on the one in first place. I think the second place one is Washington. Third place one is probably California. And then the last place would be the Italian, I think. So let's look. With a C plus B minus, not a bad score, I just didn't think it was special necessarily. It was good, and I think it could flesh out a little bit better later, but I think it's the Italian. I could be wrong. No, not at all. Ha! Kind of relieved. So in last place, or fourth place, is the 2022 textbook Merlot from Napa Valley. Glad it wasn't the one from Italy, just saying. This rolls in at $22. 2022 textbook Merlot from Napa Valley. So, should have guessed that because I don't think that, I don't often look to California for Merlot. I know there's some good ones out there, but that's not my go-to place for Merlot. So that being said, I'm wrong about that one. So in third place, this could be the Italian Merlot, I don't know, with a B minus. So straight up B minus, good score. Oh, look at that. Well, there you go. I'm way off. This is the 2022 Bookwalter Merlot. They call it Readers. He puts it under the winery, what does he call it? Doesn't matter. It's the Readers Merlot. This rolls in at $22. B minus. So Washington, not so much. But again, I was nervous because now it means the Italian and Bordeaux are in first and second place, which I find very interesting. So the top 3 are the top 3 that I personally believe are the best expressions of Merlot in the world. I know they make some good ones in Chile, but I still think those are the top 3 spaces. So bringing in third place, the Bookwalter. In second place with a B plus. This could be the Italian Merlot because I think the first one is definitely Bordeaux. Let's see, let's find out. No! Wow, I am so off on this one. So off. That means the Italian one came in first. Crazy. Anyway, I really like this one. This is 80% Merlot, 15% Cab Franc, and 5% Cab. This rolls in at $23. I really like this one, but man, I did not catch. I thought this was Old World, but yeah, that's crazy. Crazy. So it's a 22 vintage Chateau Tour Chagnaw Lalande-De-Pomerol. Pomerol is famous for Merlot. $23. This is these top 3 are all, go-to wines. At those prices, this is really good. This is from the 22 vintage. I've been touting the 22 vintage of Bordeaux quite a bit. But I am just so off on this one. That's okay. I hardly claim to be perfect, that's for sure. So with a B plus, A minus. Did I guess Bordeaux? So this has to be Italian. And a lot of people don't realize that Italians make great Merlot. This is a 2019 Sodal Merlot Lazio Cottarella. So that the producer's Cottarella. The name of the Merlot is Sodal, and it's from the Lazio region of Italy, and this rolls in at $22. B plus, A minus. Fantastic lineup. I totally blew it as far as the blind tasting part of it, but still, the top 3 were from the top 3 areas that I think produce some fantastic Merlot. And I don't think a lot of people realize that Italians do great Merlot. I mean, Maceto from Italy, it's a Merlot. It goes for a lot of money, that more than I would ever spend on it. But they take great pride in Merlot, and it shows in this one. And then of course Bordeaux, and then Washington State, not too far behind. And then, not surprised, but I didn't guess it correctly, is that the Merlot from California came in last place. It's the way it works sometimes. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day. Again, make a comment. Do you like these blind tasting formats? I know I'm going to put Merlot in there, and you don't get as many views. A lot of YouTube programs will just do ones that they think that'll get hits. I'm not worried about that. I just do what I like to do, and I hope you like it too. You keep watching. Oh, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I grew a couple of subscribers. Like I said, my goal for the year is 2,000. I hope I get there. You can help me out. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.